A message comes in and you suddenly pick up your phone. Maybe it's an increment letter, maybe it's a bonus confirmation, maybe it's just that quiet moment when you look at your account balance and realize that this is a number that would have felt impossible 10 years ago. You should feel safe. And for a moment, you do feel safe. You feel relief. Maybe even that small private satisfaction of thinking, we got there. And then slowly, the calculation starts again. How long is this enough for? What if the market crashes? What if the role changes? What if one medical emergency comes in? What if the EMI increases? What if the school fees go up again? What if this life I built depends on the income I cannot afford to lose? The number went up, the fear didn't. And this is a very strange thing to admit because from the outside, you look like someone who should have stopped worrying by now. Everyone has a number. The number where they think they will finally feel safe, finally feel okay. When I earn this much, I'll breathe. When the savings reach this level, I'll relax. When the loan reduces, I'll feel safe. When the next increment comes, I'll stop worrying. And the strange thing is, many people reach that number. Maybe not the exact number, but they reach a version of it. They reach a level of income their younger self would have respected. And for a while, it works. For a few days, maybe a few weeks, and then the number quietly moves. The new income becomes the new normal. The new lifestyle becomes a new baseline. The new responsibility becomes a new pressure. And the number you were chasing starts walking ahead of you again. This is the moving number. When safety keeps being postponed to the next financial milestone. This is not only about income, by the way. For many of us, it started much earlier, in a house where money was not absent but was never casual. Middle class homes know this feeling very well. There was enough, but not always comfort. You could feel when an unexpected expense entered the house, a school fee, a medical bill, an EMI, a repair that could not wait. Sometimes nobody explained it to you directly, but children notice the atmosphere. They notice when voice becomes lower, harsher. They notice when one parent becomes quiet. They notice when a purchase is delayed without anyone saying the real reason. And somewhere inside, without making a formal decision, you decide, I will not live like this. I will earn enough so that money does not control the mood of the house. And years later, you do earn more, maybe much, much more. But the mood never fully leaves you. The sad part is the fear upgrades with the income. Here's the pattern. At the start of your career, the fear is very simple. Will I have enough this month? Then you grow. The salary improves. The title improves. The responsibilities also improve. And the fear changes shape. Now it becomes, can I protect what I've built? And then the lifestyle grows. The home changes. The family's expectations also change. The children's need change. The parents get older. Your own body starts asking for attention. And the fear becomes, what if this stops? The income went up. The fears did not disappear. They upgraded. Better quality fears, bigger stakes, same feeling inside. That is the part many people do not say clearly. At a certain stage, the fear is not only about money, it's about safety. It's and the safety is not just a number in the bank. It is a feeling. For most of us, that feeling was never properly built. So we keep trying to build it with income. The fear may not even be ours. Here is the uncomfortable part. A lot of us are not carrying our own financial anxiety. We're carrying a memory of someone else's, a parent's, a family's, a home where money was discussed in lowered voices, a childhood where you were protected from the details but not from the tension. And that tension stayed, not as a story, as a reflex. You check the account before spending. You calculate before saying yes. You hesitate before buying something you can actually afford. You feel guilty after the purchase that did not actually damage anything. Someone says, why are you worried? We are doing fine. And you don't have a clean answer. Because we are doing fine is not always enough for the fear that was formed long before that income existed. The fear running your financial decisions may not have started with your own salary. It may have started in the house where you first learned what money could actually do to the people you loved. You can see it in small moments. You can afford the dinner, but you still scan the bill with the seriousness the situation does not even require. You can book a cab, but you still compare three options as if the difference will change your month. You can take a short break, but your mind starts calculating before your body even gets to rest. You can buy something for yourself, but immediately after buying it, you start justifying it internally. It was useful, it was needed, it was not that expensive. I don't do this often. This is the strange thing. The money is available, the permission is not. And sometimes the hardest permission to receive is your own. The problem is, income solves numbers. It does not always solve memory. This is where I want to be careful. I'm not saying money does not matter. It absolutely does matter. Money pays rent, money pays EMIs, money pays school fees, money pays medical bills, money creates options. Money gives dignity in situations where lack of money can be humiliating. So, this is not a speech about money not being important. It is. But after a point, income solves the numbers faster than it solves the memory of uncertainty, the memory of watching adults worry, the memory of feeling that one unexpected expense could change the atmosphere of the house, the memory of promising yourself that you would never let life become that fragile. That is the difference. A financial problem needs a financial answer. But an inherited fear does not disappear just because the spreadsheet improves. The number you're chasing will keep moving if you never ask what it is supposed to give you. Because the number was never only a number, it was supposed to give you sleep, breathing space, control, respect, proof that you made it, proof that struggle meant something. But if the real need is safety, the number may keep changing because the feeling never arrives. And more money can temporarily quiet the fear, it can reduce the pressure, it can create a real relief. But if the fear is old enough, it will eventually learn the new income. It will adjust. It will find the next risk, the next possible loss, the next reason to stay alert. That is not weakness. That is the old alarm learning a new house. When financial fear stays in the background for too long, your relationship with enough starts to break. Enough becomes difficult to recognize. Every number becomes temporary. Every milestone becomes a waiting room for the next milestone. And slowly, you stop asking, what do we need? You start asking, what could go wrong? And then generosity changes shape. Not generosity with money, generosity with time, with rest, with risk, with joy. You become careful in places where life was asking you to be present. And without realizing it, you may build the life you wanted, but you keep living inside the fear that helped you build it. I want you to do a quiet money memory audit and do this when nobody's watching. Not as budgeting, not as financial planning, not as a productivity exercise. This is not what this is. Just take a blank page and write three lines. Line 1, what number did I once think would make me feel safe? Line 2, what changed after I reached it? And line 3, whose fear do I hear when I worry about money? You do not have to solve anything from this. You do not have to become relaxed overnight. You do not have to pretend money does not matter. It does. Just notice the difference between your current financial concern and an old financial fear because they do not need the same response. And sometimes the first useful step is not earning more, it is understanding what the fear has been asking for all these years. So here's the actual question. Not how much more money do I need, not what is the next number, not when will I finally stop worrying. The question is, what did I believe money would make me feel that I still do not feel? Maybe the answer is safety. Maybe it is freedom. Maybe it is respect. Maybe it is proof. Maybe it is a feeling that the people you love will never have to worry the way you watch someone worry. And that is not a small thing, but it is worth naming. Because if you do not name it, you spend your whole life earning more money for a fear that never learned how to feel safe. In the next episode, something most people calculate too late: the gap between what you're worth and what you are being paid, and what staying out of loyalty has actually costed you. See you then. Bye.